Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Do Something. Today's guest is a multi-award winning and nominated Amy Brenneman, who most of you may know from her amazing series, Judging Amy, or more recently, as Dennis Quaid's delightfully creepy sister in Goliath, although that entire season was delightfully creepy. She is now starring in The Old Man on Hulu with Jeff Bridges and John Lithgow. And she is not only a film and television actor, she's a podcaster and a producer. And yes, she is also an activist, a very honored one at that. So I myself am very honored to have her on my show so she can tell us how she does it all. So hello, Amy, and welcome.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
I hear a lot. As an activist, and we're always trying to get people to join us, and they, and I get a lot of, oh my God, I know I should, but I just don't have the time. So let's first talk about what busy looks like. I know I got you as an actor. I got you as a producer. I've got you as a podcaster. Did I say podcaster? Was that?
Yep.
Did I miss anything in there?
I have two children, and
Oh,
my daughter
oh,
has a
those, yes.
disability. You just met. So being a special needs mom or disability advocate is both personal and social, political,
Hmm.
and a joy. She's amazing.
Hmm.
And yeah, I've been married almost 30 years. So
I want to acknowledge that just the act of living takes time out of your schedule, just maintenance, eating, all this sort of stuff, dealing with your family or your loved ones, or take caretaking. So I want to acknowledge that that is also part of
Mhm.
the daily thing. So um, can you walk me through a typical week? What would that look like in terms of all the hats that you wear?
Well, when I'm shooting
Mhm.
or in a play, I also do a lot of theater. You just kind of go into a wonderful black hole. I mean, so my life tomorrow could change, and I would be
Mhm.
on a plane to wherever to work. Um, when I'm not shooting or in production, I am developing projects. I'm doing family stuff. I'm a writer as well, so I spend time doing that. And I am a community organizer. My daughter is graduated from a wonderful school called the Riverview School in Massachusetts,
Mhm.
and 2 years ago she graduated. And with another couple partners, I bought a small apartment building in Hyannis, Massachusetts, and helped to create a supported independent living for nine neurodiverse adults and counting.
So you do have a bicoastal um, presence,
Yeah,
and
yeah, I go between California and Massachusetts.
do you have the same activities on both coasts, or do you do one thing primarily on the East Coast and a different set of
Yeah,
things
that's
on
such a
the?
good question. When you're developing now with Zoom, so many of the meetings you can take is, you can be wherever, writing you can be
Yes.
wherever.
We have you working on any given day. You're either rehearsing for something that you're in, or you're auditioning for something that you're in, or that you want to be in, or
Hmm.
you are writing something, or you are producing something, or looking for things to produce while raising your children and dealing with your marriage. And
Creating a supported independent living situation for my daughter and her peers. The things that I stick with are usually things that I have personal experience with or want to
mhm.
grow that world or a loved one is connected to it. That's often the way it happens.
And that's a good point. This is very important for people who are just curious about doing something. uh, you don't have to go far from your wheelhouse to find the thing. What is it that you're passionate about? Is it about literacy? Is it about homelessness? Is it about whatever it is that you have a passion about? There is an opportunity to do something about, and to
Right.
volunteer and help out in some way. I think that the perception of activism in general is that it's 100% sacrificial. You just grit your
No.
teeth and you just do it because you know it's like medicine. And it doesn't, that has not been my experience, and I don't think it has been yours.
No, a very wise elder in my life, and I don't even think he made up this quote, but it had really stayed with me. He said, "One's vocation, and by vocation that could be your paid job or your volunteerism. One's vocation is where your passion and the world's need combines.
Uh, Okay,
Because my
let me direct you there. So
yeah,
you
okay.
mentioned two very well-known groups, Swing Left and Indivisible. And what kind of actions do you do with them?
In terms of election stuff, I would, every 4 years, I would get activated and maybe do a phone bank and stuff. But I didn't have a home group.
Hmm.
And I also want to say about myself that I'm really big on groups.
Hmm.
I love them. I have a mom support group for moms with kids with special needs. It's a practice. So it's
Yeah.
not up and down. You just have your group, you have your people, right? And it's really funny. I didn't have that politically.
I
So
think let me just point out for
yeah,
just a second that one of the things that joining a group does is it demystifies and it deterrorizes the idea of doing something. A lot of people right now are like, well, they don't want to get on a list somewhere. And I think hiding is not going to make it go away. It's not going to pass. But when you go with a group and you hang out with a group that is like-minded and are all working in the same direction as you want to go, you suddenly realize you're not alone.
one of the really tricky tools is social media, right? And I say tricky because there's a
Yes.
great side to it and I stay connected to what's going on.
Mhm.
But the algorithm, which again is not biased one way or the other, that's just like eyeballs, right?
Yes.
But the weaponization of isolation, that is do this is
Yes.
isolating.
Yes.
Being in the world is not. And the
Correct.
minute you step into a room with people, you're cheered,
Yes.
because it's like everybody's kind of doing their thing.
And it's
And
real.
actually,
It's
and it's real.
tactile real. Yes.
Down to what we're understanding
Hmm.
is if you are interested in having a democracy, you
Hmm.
are in the majority of Americans, right?
Yes.
And it can feel sometimes like you're not because the algorithm is so noisy.
What percent of time do you spend doing activism?
I will say this, that in the same way
Hmm.
that we now understand exercise is
Hmm.
important. You don't have an opinion about it, you just do it. That's the way I look at my activism. It is neither emotional anymore. It's you just like you were talking about Sheryl Crow, make
Hmm.
your calls, do your
Yes.
thing. And
Hmm.
then it's sort of I'm a big Jess Craven person, chop wood, carry water. She will tell you what to do.
Yes.
Fivecalls.org.
Yes. Yes.
Just it's just like
Yes.
having your coffee. So I think that the more I think about it, rather than kind of, a big thing like an election or, just do your practice.
It's like
Just
brushing your teeth or doing the laundry. It's
thank you.
just the
Yeah.
thing you fit into your schedule that
Right.
is, it's just part of the schedule.
And I think in the same way, and I love that you're doing this this podcast or this because in the same way, people that haven't been to a gym for 10 years, like, and then
Yeah.
they go once, there, it's not so bad. And then it's like 3 days a week, I'll go.
And it doesn't have to be phone calls. Like if you like to bake, we're do bake sales, raise funds for your group. You don't want to can't bake, drive people to the group or host a
Yeah.
group or do. I mean, it doesn't have to be direct action, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. And I think from my spiritual point of view, we've talked about, social and political, but my personal spiritual view is like that's what we should be doing.
Well, you bring up a very important point, and that is that one of the things that this thing does is, can you see it? Yeah, the phone. What the
Yeah.
thing does is it reduces our universe to just us and things that concern us. So in that sense, it isolates us from the community that we belong to. So
Yeah.
so yes, joining a group of some sort wakes you up to all the needs that we are surrounded by, whether it be a political need or a social need. And there are just thousands and thousands of ways to participate that make our society and our community better. So,
And democracy is a participatory sport, right?
well, Amy, I'm so glad we finally made this work.
I
It is a
know. What a
pleasure to meet
joy.
you. I look forward to sharing your story and your insights with all of our viewers. And remember, you are never too busy to find a way to do something. Thank you.